Live from WROC, this is News 8 at noon.
We are following some breaking news out of Kodak today. The company is getting out of the camera business. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Katrina Irwin. The business that made Kodak into a worldwide leader is coming to an end. The once photo giant is ending the photo business. Specifically, it won't make cameras anymore. We begin our coverage now with News 8's Caroline Tucker, who is live at Kodak's headquarters on State Street. Caroline, what does all this mean?
Well, Katrina, really what this means is that Kodak is getting out of the camera business. Specifically, what that means, digital cameras, pocket video cameras, and its digital picture frames. Now, it plans to phase all of that out during the first half of 2012. Now, of course, this will mean significant job cuts. There are 400 employees worldwide who are within the camera business part of Kodak. 30% of that includes employees right here in Rochester at its downtown headquarters. Now, the company says it will save $100 million every year by doing this, but it will cost the company about $30 million just to get out of that business. Now, here's what Kodak will continue to do, however. It will continue its retail kiosks that you see at local pharmacies and different stores throughout the area. Consumer inkjet printers will continue to be manufactured. It will continue to have Facebook applications as well as maintain its Kodak gallery that many people have their photos uploaded on. It will sell camera accessories and batteries and continue to manufacture those as well, and continue to make film and photographic paper that many professionals still use. Now, Katrina, we do know that Kodak unveiled one of its Wi-Fi cameras that happened at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. Now, the company tells me that while they did unveil that, it's likely that those products unveiled there will never be made. In downtown Rochester, Caroline Tucker, News 8.
All right, Caroline, thank you. Well, Kodak's Chief Marketing Officer Pradeep Jotwani released a statement this morning about this move, saying, quote, "For some time, Kodak's strategy has been to improve margins in the capture device business by narrowing our participation in terms of product portfolio, geographies, and retail outlets. Today's announcement is the logical extension of that process, giving our analysis of the industry trends." Well, we are joined now by Doug Hendy of Brighton Securities for a little bit of analysis on all this. Thanks so much for coming in today.
Sure, I'm happy to be here.
We're talking about, you know, what this means for Kodak. I mean, really, this is kind of just another step in the bankruptcy process, isn't it?
Exactly. I mean, we've known that Kodak was moving into two separate divisions, the commercial and consumer division. They announced that prior to the bankruptcy. And ultimately, what we as a firm believe is that at the end, they may, in fact, completely move out of the consumer business altogether. But what this does is it helps that profitability in the consumer division by moving away from this whole capture business, and you know, to me it's just another step in this process. Certainly
this is kind of an emotional step for a lot of people here in Rochester. I know we were talking before, you grew up here. Yeah. People like to see that Kodak name on cameras. Yeah,
you know, the sad story here is that you know, Rochester itself is identified with Kodak, and Kodak is cameras, right? That's what we've always thought. I mean, you know, I grew up in Fairport, and you know, it's always just been Kodak and cameras, and this is a sad day. It really is. It's not something that I think anyone would have foreseen 10 years ago, but this is where we are now, and to the extent that the business makes sense, it's not profitable enough to keep that business piece going, so they're going to sort of move away from that. It's the capture business. They're still going to have a consumer division, and you know, they're still going to have businesses there that will continue to operate. And we'll see how this plays out in the long term.
Obviously, we're probably talking some layoffs here.
Yeah, I suspect there's going to be some people who will be laid off. Again, they've already announced that they were going to be laying some people off already in Ohio. So this is just another one of those pieces of a bankruptcy restructuring that's the sad part of the story. And you know, we'll see what this means in terms of how many people locally will lose their jobs.
Yeah, still a lot to come in all of this process.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon.
Sure, thanks.
Well, some local retirees are today reflecting on this latest move. Once a month, these former Kodak employees meet at a local diner near Eastman Business Park. They have been meeting there since the early 90s. Many of them spent 20 to 30 years at the company, and today many of them were stunned to find out that their former employer is getting out of the camera business.
It's sad. It really is. You know, just like I say, over the years, it was such a good company. To see it falter, you know.
Cameras now it's changing too fast. It's digital, and now it's on your phones. How can you sell a camera if you can take a picture on your cell phone?
These retirees say it is another sad day for Kodak, but many say they are grateful for what the company gave them when the times were good. More news from Kodak. The owners of the Kodak Theater in Hollywood are rejecting Kodak's motion to void their naming contract with the building. They say that advertising campaigns are already in full effect for many events, including the 2012 Oscars at the end of the month. And the cost of removing the names and changing sponsors would be extensive. Theater officials say the earliest any name change could happen is December 31st of this year. We have much more coverage of this developing story on our website. Go to rochesterhomepage.net to see more. And we're going to have a special report tonight on this latest development with Kodak. It is called Kodak, A Changing Picture. That is tonight at 7 o'clock right here on News 8. Also developing at this noon hour, a 23-year-old man is facing murder charges after a deadly shooting in Brighton. Maxwell Wyant is accused of killing 21-year-old Christopher Schoen. Schoen was found dead yesterday evening at a home on Hartfeld Street. Wyant and Schoen used to be roommates. Now, police say Schoen came back to the home and there was a dispute over some property.
I'm not going to use the word isolated incident. This was a violent act that occurred at that location, and we have the person in custody, charged with a crime who we believe is responsible for this act.
Wyant is due back in court on Tuesday. An alert this afternoon for parents in Wayne County. There have been 2 suspicious incidents involving the luring of young girls. A call went out to parents in Marion. On Tuesday, a 14-year-old girl was lured in the town, not on school property, and it's believed a similar incident happened elsewhere on Monday. We are talking to the sheriff's office at this hour, and we'll bring you more details on that tonight on News 8. Bringing you up to speed now, one person is dead after an overnight crash on the Thruway. State police say a tractor trailer driving westbound hit a cargo van near the Pembroke exit around 10:30 last night. The impact caused both vehicles to go off the road and roll over. The driver of the cargo van was killed. The tractor trailer driver is being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Traffic on the Thruway is moving fine now. Batavia police are investigating after a woman's body was found inside her car. Her body was found around 10:30 last night in a parking lot along Main Street. Now, the woman's name has not been released, but police do say she is a Batavia resident. An autopsy is scheduled for today. Calling hours are today for 12-year-old Tyler Kopp. He died Monday night after he was hit in the chest last week with a lacrosse ball during a game. Calling hours will run from 4 to 9 this afternoon at the Meaningful Tributes Funeral Chapel on Monroe Avenue in Rochester. The funeral is tomorrow, and a public school memorial is set for Monday. Switching gears now to the weather. Lots of sunshine in Rochester, but some big changes are coming this weekend, huh, John?
You got that right there, Katrina. Definitely got a lot of sun out there now and thus far today, and it will stay that way right through the rest of today. It is a little brisk, but quite nice out there. Let's get to the sky eye, and you can see all that sun reflecting off the Genesee River. Just a beautiful looking day. It is a little brisk, but temperatures well into the 30s, approaching 40. Not feeling so bad out there. So if you're out and about for lunch, looking and feeling pretty good. You obviously need to have your jacket because it still is a little chilly, but not that bad and definitely better than yesterday. Satellite radar showing all that sunshine out there. Again, that stays with us right through the rest of today. Temperatures approaching 40 degrees with a brisk wind making it feel closer to 30 as we head through much of this afternoon. As we head into tomorrow, it stays pretty quiet, but it's after tomorrow that some big changes come in here. I'll talk all about them with the latest information that just came in coming up in just a bit. Katrina.
John, thanks. Votes expected today in the House of Representatives to prohibit congressional insider trading, a bill championed by local Congresswoman Louise Slaughter. Slaughter has been pushing this Stock Act bill since 2006, but only recently gained popularity when a 60 Minutes report found a loophole that allowed trading. The Senate passed its version of the bill last week by a vote of 96-3. That version of the bill was championed by New York's junior Senator Kirsten Gillibrand.
Some diseases run in the family, but new research says dads have a great chance of passing heart disease onto their sons. The story is coming up in Health Watch.
Well, it doesn't get much better than this sky condition-wise. Tons of sun and blue sky, but that will be changing along with many other things come the weekend. I'll talk all about that after the break. Stay with us.
You're watching the team you can trust. Katrina Irwin and Rochester's most accurate forecast with meteorologist John DePasquale. This is News 8 at noon. Now, meteorologist John DePasquale with Rochester's most accurate forecast.
12:11 on this early Thursday afternoon. There's a time lapse here. I showed one yesterday and the sky was mainly gray through the period. Notice here, you see the cars flying around? Yeah, a 30-minute loop here of the sky that's remaining blue. Just a few cirrus clouds from time to time, barely that though, and maybe a jet contrail here and there they can't even see. All in all, just a gorgeous looking morning it has been. It will remain this way. What you see is what you get for the rest of this Thursday. Temperatures now up to 37 here in Rochester, 38 in Penn Yan, and we should gain a couple, 2-3 more degrees out of the thermometer over the next 2 or 3 hours this afternoon. Wind chills though, there's a bit of a brisk breeze blowing between 10 and 20 with a few higher gusts, and that will continue to blow pretty good today. Ushering in that milder air, but also making it feel colder, upper 20s, low 30s, the feel-like readings out there. So still a nip in the air despite the milder temperatures. Okay, speaking of chillier temperatures, well, look at this. Mid to upper 30s here, but that Arctic air has been kind of hanging out over central northern Canada through much of the winter. It's starting to bleed south a little bit, and a chunk of this will come in a couple of waves, it looks like, for the weekend. You'll see that reflect in the 7-day forecast in a moment. I'm going to talk more about that in just a second. Satellite radar showing, look at all the real estate of clear sky, high pressure anchored to our south, giving us the good looking day today with the brisk winds. Here we are in Rochester, area of low pressure right there. Okay, look at that spin. That's a storm system that gave us the clouds yesterday and the snow areas south of us. That was yesterday. That's long gone. Now high pressure giving us the nice weather today into much of tomorrow. But as we go into late tomorrow, especially tomorrow night, this cold front will slip through the area and give us some snow showers tomorrow night and a few squalls lingering into the day on Saturday, the way it looks now as well. Futurecast showing tons of clear sky tonight. A lot of sun to start tomorrow, but then it starts to get cloudier later in the day as clouds on the increase ahead of that Arctic cold front. They'll produce some snow showers in here as we go into later tomorrow night, and that will linger right into the day Saturday with some lake effect. A storm system blowing up near the East Coast should leave us alone, but we'll hit the East Coast pretty good, especially New England, the way it looks right now. For us, again, first shot of Arctic air comes in later tomorrow night into Saturday. Another shot with some more significant lake snow potentially late Saturday night into Sunday. So for the rest of this Thursday, what you see is what you get. Brisk, plenty of sun, nearing 40. Tonight, lots of moon and starshine. Temperatures 25 to 30. For tomorrow, looking at 35 to 40, getting a little windy, and sun phase band increasing clouds, maybe a late day snow shower or two off Lake Erie. As we go into tomorrow night, some snow showers and flurries and a few squalls developing right into Saturday lingering. It could be a little slick heading up to the dome now the more I look at stuff. Inch, 2 or 3, not a big deal, but enough to kind of just make it a little dicey. And then more significant shot of snow and cold possible late Saturday night into Sunday.
Okay, thanks, John.
Sure.
Well, here's a look at what we are working on for News 8 First at 4. Comedian Will Ferrell takes on another gig. He's an announcer at an NBA game. We're going to show you in our trending topics. And we're going to have team coverage of the latest developments from Kodak today. The company announcing it is getting out of the digital camera business. Of course, Kodak is the subject of our Your Turn segment today. What do you think of the company's decision to phase out digital cameras altogether? Share your thoughts with Matt Malloy on Facebook and Twitter, and Matt will share your comments today at 4. Well, it is Thursday, and that means we've got a furry friend in the studio with us today. Up next, we're going to meet Kiana the cat. First, as we had a break, though, here's a look at the fuel finder.
News 8 at noon continues.
Welcome back, everyone. Today, Karen has brought in Kiana for us to meet. Thanks so much for bringing her in.
Welcome.
Now, she is a really pretty cat.
Very pretty. She's got beige, gray, black, a little bit of white, and gorgeous green eyes.
Yeah, they really are
she's got
pretty.
really green eyes. So she's a pretty cat. She's 2 years old. She was abandoned.
Aww.
And the people who brought her in couldn't keep her, but the staff, we don't have much history, obviously, but the staff say she is very sweet, loves to be petted, loves to be held, and I can vouch for that because she's been wonderful here. Not that the others aren't, but she's not on a special, but she's worth every penny you'd pay for her. She's just a fine cat.
She is, and she's curious. She's looking around, but she's calm, which is
very calm.
Unusual when they come in the studio like this.
I know. Cameras haven't bothered her. Lights haven't bothered her. I mean, she's just really low key. Jonathan was adopted, last week's cat.
Great.
And Sammy, the dog, the big dog, almost 100 pounds. It was a yellow lab husky mix.
Okay.
You weren't here.
I wasn't here that week.
But he got adopted.
Great.
So that is good, because a lot of difficulties in terms of older and didn't like other animals. And our camp that we're having out there during the February break and the April breaks, we still have some openings.
Okay, good to know.
So, yeah.
Well, we've got the information up on the screen. 223-1330, extension 262 is the number you can call. And we want to keep this adoption streak going. So give them a call if you are interested in adopting Kiana. Thanks so much for coming in today.
Oh, thank you.
Well, coming up in Health Watch, we trust our doctors with a lot of things when it comes to our health, but are they being completely honest with us? A new survey is next. As we go to break, we are celebrating Black History Month. In Health Watch this afternoon, most doctors admit they are not always honest with their patients. A new survey in the Journal of Health Affairs finds that more than half admit to making a patient's prognosis sound better than it actually is. 1 out of 5 doctors also say they didn't fully disclose a medical mistake for fear of being sued, and 1 in 10 admit they have lied to a patient in the past year. A new study shows that many fathers are passing heart disease onto their sons. British researchers found that a mutated Y chromosome from fathers can double a son's risk of coronary disease. Scientists say this may explain why men tend to develop heart problems much earlier than women. A new study finds Tai Chi is more effective than other exercises for patients with Parkinson's disease. Researchers in Oregon designed twice-a-week sessions for 195 patients comparing stretching, resistance training, and Tai Chi. The results, the ancient art of Tai Chi, improved patients' posture and stability and help prevent falls. We are going to have another check of your weather forecast right after this. First, as we go to break, though, here's a look at the community calendar.
News 8 at noon continues.
Well, Don is back with another look at our weather, and sunny out there, but a little brisk.
Yeah, a little brisk, but sunny. And I tell you, the sun does help. Mentally it helps you, and it does feel nice. It's starting to get a little stronger. You can see the sky showing that beautiful blue sky and sunshine. Just awesome looking sky through the rest of today, and temperatures mid to upper 30s. Wind chills though upper 20s, low 30s, so definitely a chill in the air for sure. Do expect upper 30s to around 40 today with more sun. Sun fades beyond increasing clouds tomorrow, maybe a late day snow shower flurry off Lake Erie, and then some snow showers develop tomorrow night into Saturday. Could see an inch, 2 or 3 then with some Arctic air, and then another shot of Arctic air with some lake effect, more significant lake effect snow potentially for Sunday.
All right, thanks, Sean. Well, don't forget, we are going to have a special report tonight on the latest developments with Kodak. It is called Kodak, A Changing Picture. That is tonight at 7 o'clock right here on News 8. That's all the time we have at this noon hour. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
Trust News 8 to deliver up-to-the-minute news and weather coverage anytime online. Log on to rochesterhomepage.net.